Hello, the story I'm going to read you today is called McDuff Comes Home. I'm guessing that's McDuff. And it is by Rosemary Wells and Susan Jeffers. Look at this. Look at all those little dogs. Oh, there's a nice town. McDuff Comes Home. That's the title of the story. McDuff's corner of the garden was just under the kitchen window, where he could hear the voices of the people he loved. There McDuff relaxed and breathed in all the wonderful smells that escaped the window. The snappy smell of Fred's frying sausages, the velvety smell of Lucy's vanilla rice pudding. Look, there's the corner. And there's the kitchen. That must be Fred and Lucy. He likes to smell them cook and hear them talk. One day the window was closed. There was nothing to smell or hear. And suddenly McDuff saw something move in the neighbor's garden. What did he see? What do you think he's going to do? It was a fat rabbit. It's almost as big as he is. And you have to be very quiet around rabbits. They get scared very easily. And they'll hop away. Zoom went the rabbit through the zinnias, and McDuff squeezed through the fence after it. His collar and tag caught on the fence, and snap went his collar, and it fell off behind him. His collar tells where he lives, and that he has a family. Do you think he'll catch the rabbit? The rabbit zigzagged over the neighbor's lawn and whizzed across the street. McDuff zigzagged and whizzed too. Look, you can see each other. He hasn't caught the rabbit yet. Over hills and streets and flower beds, the rabbit scurried and skedaddled with McDuff right on his tail until it found a hole and jumped in, and McDuff could not follow. But McDuff can't get in there. McDuff was so tired from chasing the rabbit that he lay down in someone's vegetable garden and fell asleep. When McDuff woke up, he looked around. He could not see his kitchen window. He could not smell sausages or vanilla rice pudding, and he could not hear any voices that he knew. He can't see or smell or hear anything that he knows. What do you think? Mrs. Higgins came out to weed her garden. "Who's that under my eggplants?" she asked. Purple vegetables are called eggplants. Look, someone found him. Mrs. Higgins looked for McDuff's collar and tag, and she could not find them. "We will go to the police station," she said, "and see if anyone is there to pick you up." So sometimes if you find a dog that acts like it maybe belongs to a family, you can check the collar and see. And if you find a dog that doesn't have a collar or a tag, you can ask a grown-up, and they can take the dog maybe to the police station or to a vet or to what's called the pound, where they will hold on to dogs to see if anybody's looking for them. Mrs. Higgins drove McDuff up Main Street and down Pine Ridge Road and over the bridge to Oak Lane. Suddenly McDuff smelled vanilla rice pudding. Look, she's on her motorcycle, and she put him in the sidecar. And she's driving, and he smells the pudding, and he says, "Woof," said McDuff. Mrs. Higgins turned left. Then McDuff heard someone he loved calling his name. "Woof," said McDuff, and she turned right. So he's starting to know things, and he's barking, and she's listening to him. Do you think he likes riding in there? Then he saw his own house at number 7 Elm Road. Lucy and Fred were calling for him. Woof, woof, he said, and Mrs. Higgins stopped. There they are. His collar is gone, said Lucy. How did you know where to bring him? I guess I know dog language, said Mrs. Higgins. Look at that. He's even got his own little seatbelt. They're so happy to see him. And she knew what he was asking. Everyone was hungry, so Lucy made some apple pie and sandwiches. Wow, they're so happy that they had lunch with her. Look at all that food. Fred gave McDuff his favorite treat, a small dish of vanilla rice pudding with a sausage sliced on top. And look, he's got his collar back on. So now everyone knows where he lives. That was the end of that story. Maybe you've had a dog or a pet that got lost and came back. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and that's okay. I hope you liked hearing that story. I'll read you again later.